because it's either filled with reed cane or whale baleen, it makes laundering an item like this difficult. Laundering was always very costly, and something like this that where warm water could warp the reed cane or the baleen, you wouldn't really want to wash it. So you would wear either a shift or a chemise under all of these. That would be an essential item to protect your stay or corset from the oil, the perspiration, the acid of the body, because the stays and the chemise were often made of linen, later cotton, and those were, you could wash them and wash them and wash them very easily. As we move from the 18th century into the 19th, we have the French Revolution. So at that point in time, fashion, the center of fashion was commonly Paris. It still is pretty much Paris today, to this day. But especially after the French Revolution, no one wants to look aristocratic. No one wants to look royal, especially in France. Last Robespierre find you and teach you a lesson with Madame the Guillotine. So we start seeing a shift at the end of the 18th century in fashion from the French fashions to English fashion, specifically English countryside fashion. So we move from a lot of silks and linens to tailored wools, and then later with the American economy, cotton just supplants linen completely. So we see this new silhouette at the beginning of the 19th century, going from this conical body with the panniers to almost a column. So you can see how her silhouette mimics the neoclassical tastes of that time, where she herself almost looks like a column from a Greek temple, especially if she were to have folds in her gown. Now at that time you wouldn't need stays or a corset to really contour your torso, because you're getting this column effect. So in that transitional era, sometimes you'll see they almost look like short stays where the tabs are right under the bust. Certainly there were women that were of an older age at that period that hung on to the older fashions, whereas, to this day, the young seem to be the vanguard of what is new and fashionable. But into the 1820s, we start to see the emergence of the corded soft corset. So this corset is made largely of cotton broadcloth with cording sewn into the fabric as a support. So we're not seeing reed cane or baleen at this time, we're seeing a lot of cording. Now with cording, you can really get creative with what design you create with the cording, with your stitch work. Sometimes you get it with white on white, other times you get a contrasting thread like this so that the design really sticks out. And from the teens all the way till really the 1850s, there's a variant certainly in the silhouette that's desired, but the corded soft cotton corset really reigns supreme at this time. So this could be starched to add even more structure to the corset. This could be heavily corded, sometimes just corded under the bust to provide support for the bust. They're often accomplished with adding these triangular gores into the bust and later into the hips. As the 19th century progresses, the gored technique falls out of favor and it becomes more these shaped individual panels. So instead of rectangular panels lined up with triangles in between, the panels themselves start to be shaped in and of themselves, and being sewn together creates the desired silhouette of that time.